As someone who has had a monumental transition from being someone that lays on the couch and scrolls on social media for 7 to 8 hours a day to someone that works out 3 to 4 times a week and eats healthy, I know a thing or two about perfecting your morning routine to make your day as productive as possible. Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm a high school software engineer that has dang near perfected her methods in increasing my productivity, and ultimately that's helped me get better grades, get internships, and just stay on top of all my different extracurriculars throughout my life. Now, this morning routine does not at all pertain to me personally, but this is just the overall things that you should have within your morning routines for you to start your day off as productively as possible. Step number 1, waking up early. Now, I feel like this is kind of general, but I'm not trying to push you to wake up at 3 and 4 in the morning. That's not really healthy. Getting a strong 8 hours of sleep every single night, honestly, is my top priority. So if that means you have to wake up a little bit later, you can forego this step. But for the large majority, going to sleep at a decent time, like a good 9-10 o'clock, and then waking up at 6, that's a good schedule. 6 o'clock is early, despite what some people want to push that 5 and 4 and even 3 in the morning is normal. That's not normal. That's not sustainable. You're not trying to burn yourself out in 2 weeks. You're trying to set some long-term goals. So waking up, even if it's 20-30 minutes before what you normally do, so you can just get some smaller goals in, that puts you ahead of the game when it comes to comparing yourself to your past. Once your alarm goes off, go to the bathroom and run some cold water on your face. Like I promise you, when you wake up at these early times, you're not going to want to get out of bed. It's going to be so warm and it's going to be cold outside of the bed, and you know this and you don't want to get up. Nobody said this was going to be easy. Nobody said this, but we are trying to be productive. We are trying to be greater than we were yesterday, and getting up out of bed is the first step in doing that. So me personally, I like to get up and just run some cold water on my face. When I do that, I'm up. Like, I'm awake. There's nothing that's going to really get me to go back. And step number 2 in your morning routine is hydrate. Now, this should be in everybody's morning routine. You go literally, depending on how long you sleep, about 6 to 8 hours without drinking anything. So when you wake up, you are dehydrated. I go to sleep with a glass of water next to my bed because the first thing I do when I wake up is chug some water, because I know like I'm thirsty. The next thing I highly recommend is starting your day off with some kind of spiritual awakening. Now, me personally, I'm a believer. I'm saved. I pray. I read my Bible every single morning, even if it's reading a small little Bible verse every day. I am getting my daily word, and I am trying to connect and grow my relationship with God. But everybody should be doing something to grow themselves on a spiritual level, because if you aren't locked in there, you won't be locked in anywhere else, really. Now, if you're not trying to read the Bible and stuff like that, you can always meditate. Applications like Headspace and Calm are great apps that you can use to meditate. The next thing I have down, this is what's going to set you apart from the rest, is some quick, light exercises. Some people want to go full on to the gym, and I encourage that. Go to the gym. Me personally, my schedule doesn't fit for me to go to the gym in the mornings. I can only go in the afternoons. So, tweak this to your own schedule. But even if you are going to the gym, get some stretches in the morning, just so your body is awake and ready for the day. This is where we break off from the norm, and it can now break off into your own individual lives. But it still should be said, eating a healthy, hearty breakfast is what's going to get you in the productive mindset. Eating ultra-processed foods in the morning is not going to get you wanting to go up and run and do great things. Like, that's not what's going to set you apart from the rest. But eating good, natural meals, even if it's like eggs and kiwis or something like that, that's what's going to ultimately feed your body what it needs to succeed in the day. Now, like I said earlier, this can be personalized in your own individual lifestyle, so find what works for you and do it to the best ability that you can. Another thing you can do in your morning routine is engage in things that can educate you. This can be listening to a podcast, watching a documentary, reading an article, watching the news. These are great ways for you to feed your mind, which can inadvertently make you more productive in your days, because you can be motivated by other people and their stories. You can learn about how people are doing things. Now, a few tips that I have for implementing this routine. 1 is staying consistent. It's one thing to do this for 2 weeks and then drop off like the average person will do. It's another thing to do this slowly. It's another thing to slowly implement these different these different steps into your life. Try to stick with this routine, even on weekends, which can be hard, but try to stick with it for a month and see how much your life changes. Trust me, it always does. It always will. Having a good, strong morning routine, even if it's not necessarily this one, can set you ahead of where you were last week, can set you ahead of where you were last month, and can set you ahead of where you will be, where last year. The next tip I have is limiting your screen time. I highly recommend not opening up your phone for the first 15 minutes of the day. If you wake up and the first thing you grab is your phone, that's not good. That's not how it should be, and you know that. Your phone should not be the most important thing in your life, and if it is, you need to find a system to start growing that distance from you and the phone, because it's not that good for you. I'm not saying there aren't good applications that you can have, and there aren't good things that you can benefit from having on your phone, but for the large majority of the time, the phone hurts more than it helps in your life. So spending the first 15 minutes of your day away from the phone, that can be really beneficial. Some people sleep with their phone on the other side of the room. Some people sleep with it not even in the room at all. I recommend purchasing like an extra alarm, like an actual alarm to like hit to go to sleep and stuff. Like that is the best way for you not to like look at your phone, because instantly if you wake up with your phone and then you click it to turn off, like the screen's on and now you're like, might as well. Another tip that I have is setting intentions for your day. I didn't do this in my main steps because I personally like setting my intentions for the day the night prior, when I can like think clearly and be like, oh, I should do this, this, and this tomorrow because I didn't get it done today. But if you have time in your morning and you want to do that in your morning instead of the night, go for it. Another thing I didn't mention, but obviously is hygiene. Making sure you're brushing your teeth, flossing, washing your face, putting on sunscreen, things like that is a necessity for starting off your day right, because if you're not even right here, then you're not going to be right here. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe down below. Comment down below any questions you have, or just share your personal morning routine so other people can see what you do and take inspiration or motivation. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Quartz Corner.